Hey, my name is Ethan, and on this episode of More Cool Shit, Less Bullshit, we're gonna break down something I do every single day as part of my daily routine, which is making matcha. I hate coffee because every time I drink coffee, I get this caffeine rush, and then I nosedive off a cliff and basically want to kill myself because I'm that tired. Whereas matcha doesn't do that. Matcha gives you the same amount of caffeine as coffee, but you don't have that sort of drop-off point where you want to kill yourself. With matcha, you stay focused, you don't get jittery like a crackhead, and it's just a nice sort of ritual to wake up to because the flavor is just so strong and it's so smooth and it's so creamy based on how you make it and mix it. So there's a couple of different ways you can actually have matcha that absorb all the best benefits of matcha, because matcha, I'm gonna say matcha like a million times. Matcha is one of the only few teas you can actually drink the whole tea with because it's ground up, turned to a powder, which you'll see in a couple seconds. But the benefits of doing it that way is you get all the antioxidants of the tea leaf, and matcha is full of it. And on top of that, you get all this really good creamy flavor that you can't get with normal teas because you can't mix them the way you can with matcha. I'm going to show you why I drink matcha every day and how I drink matcha every day. So there's two ways you can make matcha, and you can do this very easily at home. Because this bag of matcha right here, I got at Costco. And you get about 12 ounces of matcha, which is really honestly a great deal there. And it's all, you can use this for anything. You can use this to bake, you can use this for mixing with your smoothies, you can mix this with your favorite yogurt bowl according to that. You can drink it hot or cold. And I usually prefer drinking hot because I like the way that hot matcha just warms me up and gets my body kicked into gear first thing in the morning. I'm going to show you two different ways you can make this matcha at home. I'm going to show you the traditional way, which I'm still kind of not really doing the traditional way because I'm skipping quite a few different steps, because an actual Japanese tea ceremony has a lot of steps and a lot of very specific preparation behind doing it. So I'll show you my sort of pseudo-Japanese way of doing matcha properly. And two, the second option is kind of more modern, a few different shortcuts taken here, a lot of cheats, honestly a ton of cheats, but you still get the same amazing results, maybe even better, because of modern technology. Ooh. Let's make some matcha. So way number one of making matcha involves using a more traditional setup, which involves a traditional Japanese matcha cup or bowl, I guess you could call it that way, which has a very beautiful sort of ornate pattern to it. And this is actually made in Japan from an artisan, and you can actually see sort of the mark here. It's very beautifully done. And then you would use a bamboo, this measures about a teaspoon of matcha, and you kind of scoop the matcha out and dump it in place inside your bowl. And then you have a bamboo whisk, which is very traditional as well, which is just a single piece of bamboo that is sliced essentially down the middle multiple times, and you can see there how it looks like a very beautifully done sort of ornate piece of work. Usually matcha wants to be about 176 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's roughly what I have my water kettle set to right now. So first things first is you're going to take your bowl and you're going to heat it up a little bit with your water source. And you're going to get it to temperature, because otherwise what you'll do is you'll get your matcha not the optimal drinking temperature. As I said, this is a very specific process. So I'm heating up the bowl, as you can see here, just swirling the water around, and then I'm going to get the bamboo whisk and just literally set it in there. So that way, also the bamboo whisk will be to temperature as well. So I'm going to let that heat up a little bit here. It's the temperature. Dump this out. And now we can get to measuring the matcha. So take one of these little scoops, dip into your matcha bag. You want like a heaping scoop, kind of roughly like that, as you can kind of see there. And then simply just tap it in place. You roughly want about either a third of a cup to about half a cup. So I'm using a half cup measuring cup here of hot water. And I'm gonna get it out of my and then you just dump it in place. I'm doing very awkward hand movements because I am literally working around the camera right now. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your whisk, and some people like to do sort of a circular pattern, but I like to get as much froth as I possibly can. So basically, I sort of do like a zigzag pattern to get it to be how I want it to be. As you can see right now, I'm already developing quite the foam. I almost try to think of this almost like you're trying to make like a custard or something like that. You're trying to get this as frothy as possible. But you don't want to break it. You don't want to break your foam that much. And that way you can keep a good froth like that. That's a very good creamy matcha finish right there. And you would typically just drink this straight out of the bowl this way. If you tried to pour a traditional matcha cup into anything, you're gonna spill it everywhere and make a huge mess. So you just want to drink this straight up as it is. And you can see how foamy and how creamy that actually is right there. But the best way one of the greatest things about getting that foam as rich as that possible is it makes the matcha almost taste a little bit sweeter and creamier because it's more of a lighter flavor to it. And that's just a really fun way of doing it too, because once you've mastered that skill, you can kind of do it for anything. You can do it for matcha, you can do it for eggs. If you get your eggs really fluffy when you scramble them, wow, takes it to the next level. Oishi. Let's move on to the second way of making matcha, which, like I said, is a little bit of a cheat, a little bit of a shortcut. Modern technology, and voila. So way number 2, like I said, substantially breaks with tradition. It breaks with tradition so much that you basically are swapping this for this, which is a little simple flat bottom, square edged teacup steeper sort of thing. Tea kettle, tea steeper, whatever you want to call it. Teapot, is that what it is? Is this technically a teapot? What is this actually called? Is it teapot, tea steeper, tea something? It's a tea something from Ikea. And on top of that, you swap out this because you don't need to use your hands for manual labor anymore because of this beautiful invention we call the milk frother. So this will actually save you a ton of time doing this way as well and give you pretty impressive results. And since we're making the matcha and not steeping tea, you don't need this. Get out of here. What we're gonna do is, simply as we did before, get a little bit of water in here, heat up your vessel to 176 degrees. Get that nice and warm. Pour out that water, so we don't need it anymore. Going back to the fish who love to drink it. Now, get out your teaspoon and measure out a heaping scoop of matcha. Get your measuring cup for half a cup. Pour that in. And what you want to do is take your milk frother and almost hold it at sort of an angle here, because you want to try to get that froth as best as you can. You can kind of see I'm making it a little bit right now. You're almost like skimming the surface when you're doing this. Definitely sounds like a dentist's office, but the results will be a little bit better than having a root canal. You can see within a few seconds, I have a very frothy, creamy foam to my matcha. You could actually potentially make this even higher if you wanted to, just add more hot water to it. You'll basically dilute your matcha down to a substantial amount. But this is your traditional way of doing it and my traditional way of doing it. So I'm pouring into this sort of see-through espresso cup here. So we can appreciate the foaminess of the matcha. So yeah, I know. With my little shortcut way of making my, basically looks like a shamrock shake right now. Cheers. Which way would you prefer making this matcha? Oh, that foam is good. I need some more foam. Give me some foam. Give me some foam, 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 foam. Layer that foam in. Look how thick it is. So as you can see, with the frother, you can achieve pretty amazing results very easily in a matter of seconds. And you still get the same, I guess, level of creaminess, and even certain aspects even more, because you didn't have to use your arm to do anything to make it. You just let it. It's really good for you. It has a lot of antioxidants. It's got a good amount of caffeine in it without any of the crash from coffee. Tastes really good. And as I said, it is actually very simple to make. All you need is hot water, the powder, and some way of mixing it. You can even drink it cold, mix it in pancakes, which I've done before. You can put it in anything you want to, really. So, if you like this sort of content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and smash the notification button, because I'm gonna keep making more videos and content like this, whether you like it or not. Because I enjoy learning and doing different things that can make my life, and ostensibly your life, better, just by sharing knowledge and information on stuff I'm already finding interested in the first place, such as matcha. So, until next time,